we have an expo on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I have to be there on Sunday. And you would talk about how like on Saturday, everyone is going out tonight, but you're like, I'm not going out because I treat this like a job, and I'm not like, you wouldn't go and drink and stuff because you treat it like a job. And it's funny because I would look at that as I'm like completely hungover in the morning and be like, couldn't be me. But
I also think it's because I'm a introvert masquerading as an extrovert.
Yeah.
So I would literally get done with expos and I'd like go curl up, like suck my thumb in my room.
That's
like,
really weird.
Yeah. I would literally just be like so overstimulated from the day that I didn't want to see or talk to anyone for like 4 or 5 hours. And like, I just wanted, I think, you know, you have like, we compartmentalize. I don't even think I said that.
I love that word. I never used it enough.
Compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize. It's like an apartment with a C.
Yeah, I like it.
Compartment. Samsonite. It's on the briefcase.
I was way off. Swami, slammy. Look on the briefcase. Maybe it's something. Yeah, I would just. I couldn't. Like, I didn't want to see anyone. Like even like when Morgan's a true extrovert. She can do that all day, and she gets her energy. Like she wants to go out. I'm like, I just need the Golf Channel now. I just need Netflix or a movie, order some takeout, and I just need to like not.
Lame.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into? Just kidding.
It's me.
Did you ever? It's like, Steve, we're all going to Omnia tonight.
Yeah.
Do you want to come in? Actually, I just ordered some lasagna from room service, and I got his glass of wine. I think I was gonna.
No, I wish it was. I was a people pleaser, so I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there. Not going. No.
No, dude, something crazy happened.
Yeah. I fell asleep watching this. No,
I'd explain to you, but I don't need peas and applesauce to kind of break it down.
I actually, though, there was a few times, and I think it was more about like, hey, if I feel comfortable with, I didn't want to go out to like a party, didn't know anyone, but like Ryan Hughes, Ghost owner, we would go out because he was with BSN, and we'd be a lot. Sean Stafford, myself, and Ryan, we did go and do some things, adult activities that.
Would you get a little lit, dude?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Ryan likes me better drunk.
Well, Ryan used to always. A big thing when they started Ghost was that he always referenced that a lot of people in the industry, when they would go out, they didn't want to be seen with alcohol or whatever. And he actually would reference you and be like, Steve didn't want to have like photos of drinking and
I really didn't drink all that often, but it was one of those things that I have and because I didn't do it a whole lot, I didn't drink a whole lot. I didn't want people to then be like, oh, Steve's drinking all the time. Like, cause again, I think you can kind of get carried away with that. It just wasn't part of my lifestyle. To drink a whole lot. If I had a drink at an expo, I was worried that the 16, 17-year-old kid would be like, oh, it's cool if I drink every week and Steve drinks. And I didn't want it to necessarily be one of those things that was kind of overshown. Like, again, if I have a drink once a month, if it's in Australia, it's definitely way more than that. Just like, it's crazy, actually.
I mean, you're down under, so.
Yeah, it's like beers all the time. No, I think that there was just never, and when I said like, oh, I've probably been, the last time I was drunk probably was with Ryan in Germany.
You were probably really drunk then if you're with Ryan.
Yeah, in Germany, like at Nachtflug was the name of the club. But no, it was.
Drinking Das Boot.
Yeah, so yeah, it was just, so it was one of those things that like, I was aware of that, but you know, I don't remember ever being like, no, I don't want anyone to see this ever. But it was one of those things that I didn't want to throw like drunk videos up. Like,
see, I went the opposite strategy of you. Because before I got into social media, I was a big drinker on the weekends. I was very social.
And I wasn't, yeah.
Like when I went out, like I would get just lit, boys, just lit. I would ripping shots, and like in college and with my friend Daryl, and always drink. So when I started, working out, I was like, oh, I still like to drink a lot on the weekends. When I started social media, I was like, this is just who I am.
That's who you are.
And there's probably people who have been following me for a long time. I mean, every weekend I'd make sure I made stories of like me ripping shots because I was like, this is me.
Right. And I think that to me makes complete sense. I think for me, it was like, hey, I'm here with a drink. This is the first drink I've had in a month. And I'm like,
put a statement out.
Right. Like I'm like, if I'm always showing, if we're always, because the first thing you want to do when you get a little bit tipsy is, hey, throw up.
Look how much fun I'm having.
Right. But I was like, again, I think it has its time and a place. I definitely don't care, if like now I've definitely posted drinking, like someone I did Instagram stories the other day. Someone's like, post a picture of the last time you were drunk. And it was like, well, I wasn't drunk, but we were day drinking in Spain and I had sangria. Like, I think it has its time and its place for that, but it wasn't a big part of my life. So I didn't, it was probably showcased like I didn't overshow it on my Instagram because I wasn't doing it a whole lot. If I was drinking every weekend, you would have seen a lot more of it, but I just wasn't. And it's not that I was like, oh, alcohol's bad for your gains. I never, I've never said that like you can't drink alcohol at all. My old lifting partner who had a 6-pack year round
was a raging alcoholic.
On the weekends, he would crack open beers Friday night, Saturday night. And like, we're talking like 24 beers on a weekend. And it never affected him. So I never wanted to be like, oh, you can't drink if you're working out. But for me, it just was never a huge part of my life.
My alcohol was definitely like, I had factored it into my week. It was like, I'm going to be on my macros. Yeah. I'm going to hit my gym, but Saturday night, I'm going to get obliterated. Sunday, I'm going to be a waste of space and eat about 30 grams of protein, eat a pizza that day.
Yep.
And I'm going to start it back over on Monday and I'll be hitting PRs on Monday.
Yeah.
And not saying that that's how you should live your life, but that's what I did.
But for you as someone who's an ectomorph, that like you could get away with that, no problem. A lot of people, and again, you had a healthy relationship with things. A lot of people out there, it's like if they,
I'm like, I'll get obliterated. You're like, you had a healthy relationship with alcohol.
Well, no, a healthy relationship with just food.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, if they have a sip, they're going to be like off the walls, like every night. Like a lot of people are like, oh, well, I have I haven't had a glass of wine or a drink probably since I was in Australia, and that's 2 months ago. But like last night, Morgan and I were like, oh, we should get a bottle of wine and watch.
You're a little crazy, bro.
Chicka bow wow. We're going to watch our favorite Australian, smutty TV show that we watch, and by smutty I mean like not really smutty, but like our guilty pleasure show.
I don't know what smutty means.
Yeah, it's kind of smutty would be like reality TV, like
trash TV.
It's all applesauce. It's not peas and carrots.
What is going on, guys? I am Max Tuning, your host. I hope you enjoyed this little clip. If you want to see the full, magical, lovely episode, just click the link down in the description or search Don't Be Sour on your favorite podcast streaming service. And remember, thank you for tuning in.